Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to come back and do another part to Revelation. Um, God said, "Hey, you went through that kind of fast, so let's go back and just do a little detail on some of it." The main thing is when you look at the first seal. A lot of people have a question as to, okay, so when the Antichrist comes on the scene, how long will it be before the mark of the beast program is rolled out? And so, really, if you think about that right now, we're already being prepped for the mark of the beast system. We're pretty much in a cashless society. I think about the local high school here. When you go to enter their games, they don't take cash. You have to purchase your tickets online before you go to any of their games. There's a lot of businesses here that are cashless. They don't take cash at all. Um, and so now what they're talking about, the CBDC digital dollar coming out soon. That program has already started. So we're already being prepped, for the mark of the beast. But if you think about in the fifth seal, the Christians were, the tribulation saints were at the altar of God, and they were asking God to take vengeance on those on the earth that had persecuted them. So we know that the mark of the beast took place between the first seal and the fifth seal, because in the fifth seal, those Christians have been killed because they refused to take the mark. Okay. So somewhere in between there, it took place. I believe that it would be immediately after the Antichrist takes his seat. I believe that the Mark of the Beast program will roll out to citizens. Um, and here's the thing. Um, it won't take long to roll it out, because think about this for a minute. Most people would be on board. People want to continue with their regular lives, so they're going to take it. People don't want their children to starve. It's something different when you see your baby hungry. They'll go ahead and take the mark of the beast. So there are going to be a lot of things at play there. When you look at, when you go to Revelation 13 and 1, and you read, in chapter 13, there's two different beasts there, okay? Well, actually three. There's the Antichrist, there's the beast system, okay? And then there's the false prophet. When you look at Revelation chapter 13, verse 1, it says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, nations, all the people, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." So, what is that? Well, it's pretty simple. When you think about the world, the 7 heads are the 7 continents in the world. You have a lot of people, scholars come out and say, well, I believe this is the 7 mountains of Italy. I don't believe that it's the 7 heads of the 7 continents of the world, because we're talking about the entire world. The 10 horns would be the 10 districts that the world would be divided in. So you have these 7 continents, and they will be split up into 10 districts, okay? And then it says 10 crowns. Well, those 10 crowns, which we know, that's talking about kings, okay? So there will be 10 kings who will be assigned to these 10 districts, okay? And they will run these 10 districts. And of course, blasphemy, these 10 kings will all unite as one. They will all blaspheme God. You think about the meaning of blasphemy, the art of or offense of speaking sacrilegiously against God, profanity. So they will all unite against God. Moving to the next verse, you see, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So these are countries that are going to be at the forefront of the beast system. The leopard is Germany. Of course, if you remember Germany, they had the Leopard division, the Leopard tanks. They really had this thing for leopards, so they named a lot of things after a leopard. Their flag, the animal on their flag is not a leopard, but they really followed the leopard when they named a lot of different things in their military and things like that. The bear is Russia. Russia is the bear. And then the lion is Great Britain. We know the Great Britain flag has 3 lions on it. And so even when you look at Daniel, you know it's easy to look at this if you pay close attention and rightfully divide the meaning of it, because Revelation 13 and 2 is tied to Daniel chapter 7 and 4. Because Daniel says the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked. So all this is America came. They split up from Great Britain, okay, and started their own country. So the America is tied to Great Britain. So when it says that the wings were plucked from the lion, that's where America will be destroyed in the future. So, these verses tie together. If you get into your study and you read them very closely, you'll see that. Verse 3 and 4. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? So when you look at this, you know that the devil tries to imitate everything that Jesus does. Okay? And so here we're going to see a fake assassination on the Antichrist. And then we're going to see a fake death, burial, and resurrection from this Antichrist, which is going to mock what Jesus did. So you'll see a assassination attempt take place on the Antichrist, and everybody's going to think he's dead. And then you're going to see him with this fake death, burial, and resurrection, where he's going to rise. And then, of course, the world is really going to be amazed by his survival. And, of course, they're going to follow him. So, the devil, he really likes to imitate God. And 5 and 6 says, And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. What's 42 months? That's a great tribulation. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. So we see here where the Antichrist is going to be given 42 months to really as judgment against the world for sin and for not following God. God is going to allow this to occur. And people are going to curse God. They're going to talk about God. But really, they brought this on themselves. They brought this on themselves because of the way that they lived. And so that would be 3.5 years of the Great Tribulation. Not saying that the first 3.5 years are going to be easy. The first 3.5 years are going to be rough also. But in the middle of that 7-year span, the Antichrist will renege on his agreement with Israel, and all Hades is going to break loose. So the last 3.5 years is going to be really bad. And when you look at Revelation chapter 14, 9 through 11, we see here where those people who take the mark of the beast, they're going to be condemned forever. They're going to be condemned for eternity. Because you think about this, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. Ain't no rest. This is judgment. So here's something you have to remember. If you take the mark of the beast, you're condemned forever. It ain't no coming back from that. I think about the example of cattle. A rancher, so that if his cattle gets lost or if somebody tries to steal his cattle, what he does is he brands his cattle. Okay. He has his own mark and he brands his cattle with that mark. That way, when somebody comes across them or they, if they break out and they see them or whatever, they know that cattle belongs to that particular rancher. Okay. So likewise, when you take the mark of the beast, then God takes his hands off of you, because now you have become the property, the territory of the beast, because you have taken his mark and you have been branded with his mark. And now not only do you have his mark, but you have taken on his characteristics. Okay. So a lot here. And so we look at this beast system, and we look at the fact that you won't be able to buy or sell without the mark of the beast. Okay. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. So you can forget about that part. You're going to have to live off the woods. You're going to have to plant or what have you to try to have some food to eat. But here's something else that you have to understand is you are going to be on the run for most of the time. It won't be no staying at your house. Okay. It won't be no, driving around in your car on a Sunday afternoon. You're going to be on the run. You're going to be on foot. You're going to grab a few things that you can get your hands on, and you're going to be constantly running, because the beast system will have their own police. They'll be dressed in all black, more than likely. They're going to have their own police, and they're going to be after people, especially Christians. Here's the sad part about this. Okay. Your neighbors and to elevate their standing with the government, they are going to turn you in. Your children, your kinfolks, your blood relatives, they are going to turn you in order to elevate their standing with the government. Okay. So it brings you back to Matthew chapter 10. What does Jesus say? I come not to bring peace, but to bring what? The sword. Mother against daughter, son against father, daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. It tells you. That's Matthew chapter 10, verse 17 through 22. It says, this is Jesus giving us a warning that when this mark of the beast comes, it ain't gonna be no more friends, no more relatives, no more sons and daughters. You're gonna be on the side of God, or you're gonna be on the side of the devil. It's just that simple. Your own children are going to turn on you. Listen to what it says. This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 17 through 22. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak. For it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speak in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endured to the end shall be saved. This is a spiritual thing now. It becomes spiritual because the children are going to turn on the parents. The parents are going to turn on the children. Kinfolk will turn on kinfolk. They're trying to elevate themselves in order to get more, okay? Because there's no more working to make a living to elevate yourself, okay? And where we see this going on right now, the social credit system in China, that system is going to roll out to the entire world. We see the social credit system where everything you do, everything you buy, everything you say, you're being tracked. This is going on in China right now. The government gives you a score, which determines what you can do. Whether you can board a train, whether you can buy a plane ticket, whether you can attend a sports event, whether you can buy a home. It is determined by your score. And your score, they have over 200 million surveillance cameras that watch you at all times. And so you default on a loan, you get caught jaywalking across the street, you get caught speeding. If you spread rumors, if you become a Christian and follow Jesus, all these things will drop your credit score in China, okay? And you will not be able to do anything. You won't be able to even buy a house. You won't be able to do anything. And check this out. They have a job which is called information collector. And what this person does is they walk around and they monitor their neighbors and the people in their neighborhood. And they write and keep up with everything that these people do so that they can report back to the government what they've seen these people do. And when they turn this into the government, that person takes it and keys it into the computer system and assigns it a score. Okay? So your score is going up or down based on whether you're doing what the government decides is okay. The government decides what is good. They decide what is bad. And if you get on the blacklist, if you become blacklisted, it's going to be hard to find a job. They take your photos. They put them up on posters. There's an app that they put people faces on. All this is going on in China right now. Look it up for yourself. China's social credit system. Yeah, look it up for yourself. So yes, you come back to this word in Matthew 10 and you see where people are going to tell on people, and they're going to have programs where people are going to get out and they're going to monitor you. It's going to be hard on Christians. Going to be very hard on Christians because they're going to be hiding in woods. And did you know that they have this little drone the size of an insect that has a camera on it? So even if you're hiding in the woods, this little thing is going to be flying around in the woods to identify where you're at so they can come get you. It's going to be almost impossible. So that's why you're going to see all these Christians being beheaded, because that's that's going to be the what the Antichrist wants to do is he's going to want to behead Christians. Okay. And like I said, I believe that's in Revelation chapter 20, I believe somewhere in there, where it talks about the beheading of God's people who refuse to take the mark of the beast. So one more scripture here before I go. Matthew 10, verse 34 through 39. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not the cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. This thing is personal. It's going to come down between what choice are you going to make? Are you going to choose Jesus, or are you going to choose your kinfolks? You're going to choose Jesus, or you're going to choose your daughter? Because everybody's going to do their own thing. People, blood relatives, children, parents are going to betray others. They're going to betray their own children just to try to get ahead. That time is coming. The mark of the beast is close. You think this digital currency that they're getting ready to roll out, that you're going to still be able to buy what you want to buy? No, they're going to decide what you buy. And if you don't buy what they want you to buy, they're going to revoke their money. They're going to pull it back. That time is close. Remember, the tribulation will start by the end of 2025. Time for you to choose. Which side are you on? God bless.